Hey everybody, so Stevie P here again, just carrying on from the last video. Because this is my own personal log, I feel like, and I just watched part of the first video, I feel like I just need to give you some disclaimers straight away. You know, this is a little bit like a journal. So in a journal, you get the unadulterated feelings that the person is experiencing. In a way, there's a lot less of a filter than, say, for example, if I was having this conversation with you one on one, or if I was doing a talk in a church. And I think it's just important for me to say that the feelings are going to come out, and that's because I'm not taking much time to be careful necessarily about the way that I'm expressing things, or thinking too much necessarily about the way it might come across to someone who doesn't see things the same way that I do. So I do want to acknowledge that, but I also kind of want to provide a disclaimer to say part of me powering on, because I'm so eager, I'm so desperate now to just get on and live the life that God has shown me, rather than talking about it. I want to live it. Part of what that's going to result in, at least in this vlog, is I'm not going to spend a lot of time kind of sugarcoating things or bubble wrapping things. What's going to come out is just how I'm feeling. So please bear that in mind, and I hope it doesn't cause offense. That's never going to be my aim or my purpose, but it might happen if I'm not careful. So please bear with me. I was actually thinking in the last video, because I was kind of trying to be a little bit delicate, you know, when I'm saying there's something pandemic that I felt has been missing from the Christian church, and then I sort of started to dumb it down. Oops, sorry, keep hitting my mic. Then I started to dumb it down a little bit. I actually don't want to dumb it down. You know, I really, really feel this. I have to be honest. Like, there is something missing. Oh my gosh, like there is something missing. And I think it's something that loads of Christians, either they feel it and they've chosen to kind of not bother with it and kind of ignore it, or they don't feel it, but they just kind of, every time it comes up, they just kind of avoid it. You know, like let's just not, there's certain things that's really uncomfortable. Um, but I felt it so strongly, you know, there's something missing, and um, have gone on a long exploration to find out what is it that's missing. So I want to start to give you some of the background here. When I was 9 years old, I became a Christian. It was a very fiery first love that I had for God. I wanted to be, and these are the words that I chose to use, head over heels in love with God in every moment of every day, no matter what. And I wanted that to be my reality. At the age of 11, I came to the UK and I encountered a big culture clash. Together with that culture clash, I started, as you're 11, you're starting to kind of find out who you are anyway. And I decided I'm going to run to the church, I'm going to run to my faith. That's what I want to define who I am, because I've now learnt that culture had been defining a huge part of who I am. Kenyan culture, which is where I grew up in Kenya, Kenya said be this way, then the UK was saying be this way. And it was this huge devastation, and I decided, well, actually, I'm going to root who I am in God. I'm very glad that I decided to do that, but it was also what triggered what became, in a way, a lifelong pursuit, because this is when I started to feel going to the church to try to make this happen versus going to God to try to make this happen felt like two different things. To a certain extent, I think that will always be the case no matter how amazing the church is that you're in, because the relationship with God is a personal thing. Like, it is also a community thing. It is both. So it's church, but it's also when you go into your room and close the door and it's just you. It's both. So to a certain extent, there's always going to be a sense in which, okay, we're developing a communal relationship with God, but we're also developing a private relationship with God. Those two elements are definitely present. And but I just felt like my communal relationship with God wasn't getting very far. And so I started just running into personal, private relationship with God. And the reason for that was, like I said earlier, my dream, expressed in the words wanting to be head over heels in love with God in every moment of every day, was deemed by peers and elders alike to be unrealistic. So the kind of philosophy that I came across in the Western church, and it was probably there in Kenya as well, but certainly it was there when I started asking questions of identity at the age of 11 in the Christian church. The philosophy that I was coming across was, from the aged and wise Christian, was, you know, don't set the bar too high for yourself. Don't have unrealistic expectations. The reality of the Christian journey is that it is a journey of ups and downs, peaks and troughs. There are going to be times when you feel completely close to God, that like you're riding that wave, everything's easy, the feelings are all there. But then there are going to be times when you're in the trough. You feel like you're going through what they call like a dark night of the soul, or a season in the desert in your relationship with God. None of the feelings are there. It's not easy anymore. You're in a trough. That is how the Christian life is. And what you're on throughout the rest of your life is a journey. And one of the milestones on that journey is simple acceptance of the fact, that that's how it is. You have these ups and downs. And by sort of implication, what I was doing was not only putting lots of pressure on myself, but also by implication, putting pressure on people around me, that unless we're on cloud nine all the time, there's something wrong with us. So that was the challenge that I received at the age of 11, and I had two responses to that. The one was, I get it, I understand, I don't want to put pressure on people. I actually became a Christian through Romans 8 verse 1, which, if you know Romans 8, it's all about not being condemned. So if I'm making people feel condemned because like they're not a good enough Christian, then that's definitely not on, and I don't want to be doing that. But on the other hand, something in me rebelled and said, but I don't think I am being unrealistic. Even though I might be getting something wrong, and I might be putting pressure on people that I shouldn't be putting pressure on people, and I shouldn't be putting pressure on myself, that's making us all feel condemned. I don't want to do that, so I accept that. But what I don't accept, and what I couldn't and to this day refuse to accept, is this whole thing about peaks and troughs in the relationship with God. So that starts to give you a picture of the context that's driving this vlog, and I'm going to go on to basically expand on that a little bit more. Thank you very much for watching this video.